आपने ये वेबसाइट तो देखी ही होगी, अ कॉमन वेबसाइट नाउअडेज। आपको क्या लगता है गूगल कैसे नेक्स्ट पॉसिबल वर्ड्स प्रिडिक्ट कर लेता है जब आप टाइप करते हैं? The application has about 500,000 words in an English dictionary stored as part of its database. Then it scores the words according to how often they are used. आपने जो सजेस्ट किया होता है वो सर्टन नहीं होता. Many events can't be predicted with total certainty. The best we can say is how likely they are to happen. In this video, we're going to learn about how to do math with things that only sometimes happen. They might be likely or unlikely. That is probability. Usually math में हम ऐसे events से deal कर रहे होते हैं जो certain होते हैं, जैसे 2 + 3 से हमें 5 मिलता है और 2 × 3 होता है 6. There's no uncertainty at all. But in the real world, things aren't always so predictable. Take a coin toss for example. हम ये predict नहीं कर सकते कि heads होगा या tails. It's unpredictable और random. इसलिए लोग कॉइन का इस्तेमाल करते हैं जब उन्हें कुछ चूज करना होता है. But even though we don't know what each coin flip is going to be, we do know a few things about it. We know that with a fair coin toss, that heads are just as likely to show up as tails. So the probability of an event, जैसे कि getting heads or tails, is a value that tells us how likely that event is going to happen. जैसे कि हमें पता है कि कॉइन के सिर्फ 2 साइड्स होते हैं और जितने चांसेस हेड्स के हैं उतने ही टेल्स के. बट वेट, हाउ डू वी नो दिस विथ सर्टेनिटी? अगर हम एक कॉइन को बहुत बार फ्लिप करें, लेट्स से 100 टाइम्स और मे बी मोर, वी शुड एक्सपेक्ट दैट अबाउट हाफ द फ्लिप्स विल बी हेड्स एंड अबाउट हाफ द फ्लिप्स विल बी टेल्स, राइट? And that means the probability of flipping heads is a fraction of 1/2, and the probability of flipping tails is also 1/2. So let's look at this in a little more detail on something called a probability line. It's a number line that goes from 0 to 1. A probability of 0 का मतलब होता है कि कोई event होना possible नहीं है. और probability of 1 का मतलब होता है कि किसी particular event होने के पूरे chances हैं. That an event is definitely going to happen. It's certain. That's why the probability line only goes from 0 to 1. तो इस बात को समझने के लिए एक एग्जाम्पल की मदद लेते हैं. हमारे पास एक सेट है नेचुरल नंबर्स का 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, our sample space. Now we desire to make a set of even numbers. तो हम क्या करते हैं? We get 2, 4 and 6, our favorable outcomes. So the probability of even numbers is 3/6, which is 1/2. Here also we can see that the probability is between 1 and 0. And if you want to figure out the probability of even numbers, it's just 1 minus the probability of even numbers from the given set. एक इवेंट की probability 0 से कम नहीं हो सकती या फिर 1 से बड़ी नहीं हो सकती. An event can't be less likely than impossible and it can't be more likely than certain. A probability of 1/2, like with our coin toss, means that an event is just as likely to happen as it is to not happen. A probability less than 1/2 means that an event is unlikely, and a probability greater than 1/2 means that an event is likely. Oh, and in addition to fractions, it's also common to write probabilities as decimals or percentages, since you can easily convert between those three. A probability of 0 is the same as a 0% chance of something happening. A probability of 1/2 is the same as a 50% chance of something happening. And a probability of 1 is the same as a 100% chance of something happening. अब आपको पता है कि coin toss कैसे work करता है, right? Now let's see an example of an event that is unlikely, using something a little more complicated than a coin. So let's look at a dice. A standard die has 6 sides numbered 1 through 6. So that total possibilities of outcomes would be 6. सारे outcomes को हम sample space कहते हैं. When you roll a dice, any of those sides is just as likely to come up as the others. That sounds a lot like flipping a coin, doesn't it? Each side of a die is just as likely to come up as the others, and each side of a coin is just as likely to come up as the other.